Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. You straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah, good morning and welcome back. That's right, you are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
That might be true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great American and he is a great patriot. You all know him as America.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy, Chris America, coming to you live this Monday, June the 17th, 2019. It is the 17th day of June, Loudbeard, and I watched a movie last night.
Okay, that sounds fun. What movie did you watch?
The newer Robin Hood. Did you see that one yet?
Who was the Robin Hood? Was it Tom Hardy?
I don't know who the Robin Hood was, but Jamie Foxx was the Little John, even though they just called him John. But I feel like they should have called him Little John.
I don't know if I saw that one or not, Chris America.
I feel like if you
trying
seen
to
a movie
remember
with Jamie Foxx in it, you would have been like, yeah, I've seen it. So I had...
I don't know. It sounds like it was pretty forgettable.
Well, when I saw the previews of it, I was like, I feel like I just watched all of the good scenes, and this is going to be a crappy movie, so I'm not going to watch it. And then last night, I wanted to watch a movie with Little America, Father's Day. You know, we went sailing earlier. No wind. That was lame. I'll tell you about that later. But so I was like, let's finish the night off with a little bit of Redbox action. And there really hasn't been anything much come out on Redbox recently. And all the good movies we'd already seen. So we settled with Robin Hood. I was like, that seems like I bet you he'd have fun watching that. Sometimes, you know, even though you think a movie might be bad, you know if it's got action and suspense and everything else, and even if it's like cheesy as hell and bad to you as an adult, kids will eat it up, right?
Yeah, usually. It's pretty good choice there, I think.
So I went in there with like no to little expectations, and I was impressed. It wasn't the storyline that you're used to. I mean, it was and it wasn't. And overall, it was a pretty good movie. I'm not going to say it was great. I'm not going to say you should definitely go watch it. But if you happen to be browsing and you see it, I say give it a shot.
I gotcha. And I was thinking back, and there was a movie I saw recently that was a remake of a remake of a remake. And it wasn't Robin Hood, which has been redone 1,000 times. It was that King Arthur. I saw that one with the guy from Sons of Anarchy. I was confusing the two. But yeah, I don't think I saw the newest Robin Hood, so it's decent, you're saying?
Yeah, it's pretty decent, and they took a big gamble because they left it open for a second movie, and I'm just looking at it now. It only did $84.8 million, which I say only. That's a lot of money no matter what, but compared to the other Robin Hoods, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with, who was that, Kevin Costner, right?
Yep.
That
Kevin
did 300
Costner, Christian Slater.
That did $390 million in the early 90s. And then you have Robin Hood Men in Tights, which was what, late 80s, early 90s? That did $35 million. But in today's money, that's probably closer to what Robin Hood did.
Yeah, and that was a spoof comedy, and the budget on that was probably $5 million.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle wasn't pulling in the demand that he was now.
Yeah.
So they probably got him dirt cheap.
Yeah, that was a big difference.
If they tried to do that movie again with Dave Chappelle, he'd probably demand a little bit more money than he did the first time around.
Though I think now Dave Chappelle doesn't demand quite as much as he did back in like the early 2000s when he was on top of the world.
No, probably not. He's probably closer to that, though, than he is to what he did in Robin Hood Men in Tights. Like, I wouldn't even say he's somewhere in the middle. He'd be somewhere above the middle between those two
Yeah.
numbers.
All right, I can live with that.
So he'd be somewhere between the middle and where he's at now. Let's put it that way. He'll be in the middle of where he's at now in the middle.
Gotcha.
But-
So he's like Malcolm.
Yes. But $84 million, I don't know if they're going to roll with that second one. I mean, that's still a lot of money, I guess. That's still a healthy grab. It's not going to do as bad as what movie did they predict that was going to be bad this weekend that was coming out? I'm trying to think of what it was. They said it was only going to be like $40 million. Hold on. I'll figure it out. Let me see what movies are out right now.
I don't know, for Robin Hood though, that's pretty low because you know that budget on that movie is probably a lot more.
Maybe.
I
I mean,
don't know,
there wasn't so much CGI, and Jamie Foxx was the only big star.
I don't know.
I'm trying.
It's
to find
hard
out.
to say.
Here we go. I'll just pull this up now. Oh, it was the Men in Black movie. That's what it was. Men in Black International. They said it was going to come in pretty low, and they were the number one movie this weekend, but they only made $28 million. Number 2 was The Secret Life of Pets, but they're in what, week 2? They made 23, and Aladdin's in week 4, and they made $16 million. So you got to think Men in Black International. Now that was a big budgeted movie. If that movie only nets $80 million, you know that was a giant disappointment for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those movies that I wouldn't mind seeing. I like the chemistry between Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. It's kind of the Marvel connection that you have going on there. But
Well, I think that kind of makes it hard though to watch it. Because are you going to just see Thor and Valkyrie the whole time?
Could be.
I mean, that's what we just known them as for the last 2 years, 3 years, whenever Thor
And-
Ragnarok came out.
Yeah, and the other problem is Men in Black has already been played out. You know, like we've
Yeah.
gotten, what is this, the 5th rendition of Men in Black?
I think
So
this
it's
is
not
the
like it's a
4th.
new story or
Right.
exciting story or anything like that. This is like, okay, we've seen this, been there, done that. Okay, yeah, you got different characters playing it. We like them, but it's still just Men in Black. We want something new. We want something different. So I don't know that. I don't know. I'm just gonna say, I'm hoping Men in Black maybe gains some steam. I mean, it is just the first weekend, so 28 million in the first weekend. Yeah, it's disappointing, but it could build up some traction. It could, have a couple more strong weekends and end up coming together pretty well. But you're right. Opening weekend, 28 million for that movie, very disappointing.
You know what's crazy? MIB 3 actually had the bigger box office. So the first one had 589 million. Second one took a huge dive, going to 441 million, and then the third one went to 624. And I don't remember people being like, "Oh, I need to go see MIB 3." But according to Box Office Mojo, that's what it made.
Well, see, and the first one only opened at 28 million.
Well, the one that was just now,
Yeah,
this newer version, opened up at 20. They're
I mean,
not making anywhere close.
to that 400,
Man,
500
if they get over 150 million, I'd be surprised.
wow.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I think they're
agree
going to
with
struggle.
that.
If 28 is their opening weekend, now I got to say, like, will they break 90 million? I mean, they got to
Yes.
stay $30 million for the next 3 weeks, and they're not going to do that.
Yeah, but you make money off of, I mean, not that DVDs are.
I mean, I
big
guess
deal
they got the
nowadays,
worldwide
but
sales.
yeah, you're gonna get all that coming in. It's gonna make more money than you think when it's all said and done, but it's not gonna hang even close to what the other ones did. And Men in Black 3 came out, if I remember correctly, a lot later than MIB
Yeah, it
1
was-
and MIB 2. Like
It was
those two were together.
2012.
Yeah. So I think it kind of brought in a new audience, and you got to understand ticket sales are a lot more money now. So you talk about how much money a movie made 10 years
Yeah,
ago
that's
compared
true.
to the,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize
so
it was that
there's
much
some
longer.
differences there. Yeah.
2002 was Men in Black 2. So there
Right.
was a
So
big
you have a
10-year
10-year
difference.
difference.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, I didn't realize that. So maybe maybe they were banking on, okay, it's been 6 years, 7 years. All right, let's do another Men in Black movie. Who's big right now? Oh man, people love Chris Hemsworth, and I can't remember what you said her name was.
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson and Thor Ragnarok. Let's book them together. And I mean, the budget for Men in Black 3 was 225 million. So you got to imagine that the budget for this movie is going to be around the same thing because a lot of that budget's just going to be into CGI.
Wow, you said 225 million was the budget for the third one?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that's
about
going to be a
50
struggle.
million probably went to Will Smith. 40 million probably went to Tommy Lee Jones, and then the rest was in CGI.
Interesting. Well, Chris America, one of my favorite movies of all time is. Now I say I'm setting this up for failure because I just blanked as I was reading a tweet here from Memphis Spence. He wants to know what would be the budget of the Scout Team Radio movie. That's a good question for you, Chris America. What would your budget be set at if we did a Scout Team Radio movie?
Let's see. Well, we are big-time celebrities, you and I, Loudbeard. Big-time celebrities. So are they going to cast us to play ourselves in this movie? Because that makes a huge difference. If they cast, guys that look like us, like Will Smith and Denzel Washington, I believe are two actors that look like us now. Now, Will Smith is going to have to grow a beard, and I don't know if Will Smith is capable of growing a beard. I feel like he's been babyface
it could be
the
patchy.
entire time. So
I hate when they
maybe
have those patchy beards.
maybe I should get Will Smith to play me, and you can have Denzel. I feel like Denzel could probably grow a solid beard. So if they get those guys, it'll be considerably less amount of payment for them as it would be for us because we're big time celebrities. If they go with us though, they wouldn't have as much CGI because if they go with Will Smith and Denzel, they're gonna have to CGI in a lot of our humor because nobody is as funny as we are. So Will Smith can try, but they'll have to spend a lot of money on CGIing more of our jokes into
Just
the movie.
not the same.
And it's just not the same. So
Just
it's
not
kind
the
of
same.
it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of budget here. So Men in Black 3, they did 225 million. I'm crunching our numbers. Carry the 1, divide by 52, multiply by 73. It would be a $1 billion budget movie.
All right,
If
good
my
answer there.
calculations are correct, yeah.
Well, I was going to say one of my favorite movies of all time is Armageddon. It also had a big budget.
Okay. Oh,
and
yeah.
it was a beautiful movie. And Tyson Fury, he channeled his inner Armageddon this weekend when he got a
Good
big
segue.
TKO in the second round. And I just thought I'd bring this up for everybody.
I can lay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch you smile while you were sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. Every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure forever and ever. And I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep 'cause I love you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. God bless America.
That was beautiful, Chris America. That
Yes,
was so beautiful.
This has been quite the year for boxing. And I don't know if they're just trying harder or if we just finally have personalities in boxing again. You have this guy, I mean, he's been working his way up the ranks for a very long time. And I watched a video on him recently. It was like a 30-minute little documentary, and it was about his depression and everything else. And he left boxing for a really long time to deal with all of that. But he worked his way up through the rankings for a long time, and he's undefeated right now. He's 28-0-1. He's never been defeated. His biggest match though was when he beat longtime boxing champion Vladimir Klitschko, and that was a huge upset when those two guys fought back in 2015. And then that's when this guy disappeared. He won the championship. He's always looked up to this Klitschko guy. Nobody was able to beat him. He went in and he beat him, and then he just left for 3 years to go work on, I guess, his mental health and everything. Now he's back. He's had 4 fights, He's beaten all of them, and now he's singing. Singing sweet lullabies to the American audience.
Yeah, that's the best way to celebrate a victory is to go out there and just sing your heart out. And, as far as singing goes, it wasn't like it was a Grammy-winning, award-winning performance. But if you really ran into this guy at a karaoke bar, you would have thought he was really
you
good.
would have been, like, cheering him on. Especially when you see who he is. And it sounded like he had a big old smile on his face. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I think
it really warmed my heart. I'll be honest with you. I watched this, just seeing the smile on his face. He's singing to his, I'm assuming it's his wife or girlfriend or whoever right there across from him in the ring. And she had just a twinkle in her eyes, and he was singing, and he had a big smile on his face afterwards. I mean, this was a heartwarming moment. This was something of legend. And Tyson Fury, man, he's looking good.
So I said he was 28-0-1 because of a no contest. I lied. He's 28-0-1 because of a draw. Do you know who that draw was against? It was his fight before this one.
I don't know. Who was the draw against?
Deontay Wilder, the guy with the big mean right hook that knocked that other guy out. I think now that we all know who Wilder, and after that singing performance, we're going to know who Tyson Fury is if you didn't already. I think these two need to fight again, and I think it would promote really well. And I think that it would make a lot of money and come close to the type of buys that we saw with Mayweather fights.
Yeah, this is the rematch everybody's been asking for in boxing. I mean, you don't get a lot of hype in boxing, but the little bit of hype there has been talking about we want to see Fury against Wilder. We want to see it again. We want to see the rematch, and we want to see who's going to win. That draw, we don't care about the draw. We want to know a winner, and we want a victor. And I think it's coming. This is coming.
Yeah.
We're not going to say, oh, it's never going to come. It's not like when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought and they were both over the hill. No, this is coming soon. And when these two come into the ring together, this could be one of the biggest matches in the last 10 years in boxing. And this is great for the sport of boxing.
Well, it's got to be really soon because Fury is 30, which isn't that old. But Wilder, I didn't realize this. Man, he's 33. Now, that's still not over the hill, but we all know that magical number of 35 is sometimes a doomsday clock for a lot of athletes. Now, boxing and fighting, MMA, there's a lot of guys that are that do really well after 35. So maybe I'm overstepping it. We saw Mayweather. I mean, he still looks great at 40. Silva was fighting into his late 30s. DC's in his late 30s, still kicking. You know what? So maybe I'm doing a little bit overreacting as I'm talking it out here on the microphone. But yes, Wilder, Fury 2 needs to happen. They're both undefeated. They both have that wins loss O and then a 1. We need to settle that 1 between these two.
I completely agree with you, Chris America. Now, you were talking heavyweights, so we're talking knockouts. Well, there was a knockout trade over the weekend, wasn't there?
Oh, you with the segues on a Monday, man. You are on fire. You are on fire.
I'm sizzling over here,
and
Chris
I love
America.
that. I love that little that little sound effect you just made.
It's the flame catching. When you have like a small flame and then it gets just a little burst of either fuel, accelerant, or oxygen, and all of a sudden it just flames up. We're going all kinds of sound effects this morning. Pew, pew, pew. And that's when we shooting a little pistol at it. Pew, pew, pew. So how about this trade?
This trade, yeah. I think that it's kind of what we talked about with the trade earlier after the lottery went down. And now the New Orleans Pelicans know exactly what pick the Lakers had, which is the 4th overall pick. I think that made the trade a lot more doable than way back in February, where you don't know if the Lakers are a lottery team. They could have been a top 5 pick. They could have been a top 14 pick. They could have had pick number 20. They are never going to know. But now they know that at least one of the 3 first-round picks they got from the Lakers is at least a top five pick. Where back in February, it was just a big giant question mark. And if they would have sent Anthony Davis to the Lakers in February, the chances of it being a top 5 pick were slim to none. The chances of being like a 16 through 28 pick were pretty good. So it makes no sense for them to trade back in February. I think the Pelicans owe, I can't remember the GM's name, but I think they owe him an apology because him not going for that trade when everybody wanted him to helped the Pelicans out in the long run.
Okay, and it wasn't Dell Demps was the GM of the Pelicans at the time, if I remember correctly. So I kind of have a little bit different view on it because the Lakers ended up making out because they got to keep Kuzma. Yeah, they have to give away their draft pick now, but if you would have done this trade back in February, they would have been giving up Ingram, Ball, Kuzma, and then the draft pick. So they would have actually had to have given up more, but because the value of the draft pick came up so much, the Lakers didn't have to give up every one of their pieces. They keep Kuzma, who is a very quality starting power forward, who is young, just getting his stride, and I like the fact that they kept him. And now they bring in Anthony Davis. They bring in, well, they have LeBron, who they brought in last year, and they're going to go hard after one of these other free agents. So this is going to be a win-win for both teams because the Pelicans also, like you said, now they're getting a valuable top 5 draft pick with the top 5 draft pick that they already have, number 1 overall, which presumably is going to be Zion Williamson. And they get some young pieces in Ingram and Ball who could develop to be all-stars down the road. So the Pelicans are well on their way of rebuilding right away after losing Anthony Davis. So this is quality on both sides. Obviously, the biggest loser in this trade is the Boston Celtics, who were really hoping to get a shot at Anthony Davis, and we're hoping to keep Kyrie Irving. It looks like they're going to do neither, and they're going to be back to the drawing board.
Yeah, back to the drawing board for the Boston Celtics. But for the Lakers, I understand everybody's jumping on this. Like, oh, the Lakers should be the favorites now to win it. And I say, let's slow down. Because you mentioned now they can take a shot at all these big free agents. Well, they can't take a shot at Kevin Durant. I mean, they can, but they're not going to get him for next season. So he's out, at least until 2021. Okay, well, who's next on the big board? I know, let's go after Klay Thompson. Oh, wait, he's got a serious knee injury, and he could be out till January, February, March, April. Who knows when Klay Thompson's coming back? And those were the 2 biggest names I felt that the Lakers were going to want to target. Now that they got rid of Lonzo Ball, though, you mentioned another guy from Boston, Kyrie Irving, and he can fill that point guard role, and I think that would be, addition by subtraction there by getting rid of Lonzo Ball and being able to add Kyrie Irving. That's a much better point guard. Even though you hate him, you have to admit he's a better point guard for anybody compared to Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that. So this is kind of the speculation and the story that's swirling around this is the Lakers have come out and said they're wanting to get one more guy. And they've got a couple guys in their radar. And the guys that are on their radar, one, it looks like Kyrie is going to be going to Brooklyn. That's been all the speculation.
Okay.
He signed with that Jay-Z agency company, whatever, Rock Sports Nation. And
so now that's 3 big-time free agents gone.
Yeah.
And
so
I feel like the next level of free agents, there's a huge drop-off.
Well, there's still some quality names out there, and there's a couple that are specifically going to be on the Lakers' radar. But LeBron comes out and says he feels that the Lakers still might have a shot at Kyrie, or his camp says that. So Kyrie's still in the mix, but it doesn't look like it's very promising. The one guy that they mentioned, and I love this guy, Kemba Walker. If the Lakers brought over Kemba Walker and paired Kemba Walker with Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
I have to interrupt you. Everything you're saying is important, but this question is way more important than what we're talking about right now. Coming in on the Twitter line is Jenny of Ohio. Who is the better Ertz? Julie Ertz or Zach Ertz? This is the pricing issue right now that we need to discuss.
Is this what you're asking me, or are you going to answer it?
Well, I mean, you were talking. You're the big female soccer fan. You have daughters who play soccer. You know everything there is about soccer, and you're also a big-time football fan. So I figured who better to answer this pressing issue than Loudbeard himself.
Well, obviously the answer is going to be Julie Ertz, right?
Really?
So Julie Ertz is on the U.S. women's national team, which is the greatest women that play in the United States on one team. If you were to say Zach Ertz is the greatest tight end in the NFL, you would have everybody coming up with different opinions. You would have the Travis Kelce camp.
Yeah.
You would have even though he just retired this season, but the Gronkowski heads out there arguing with you that Gronkowski was better than Zach Ertz. You're going to have arguments that Zach Ertz is not even the best tight end in the NFL. There probably could be 2, 3, 4 other names that you could argue in there. But Julie Ertz, she's on the best team
Greg
in
Olsen.
the world.
Yes.
Say that again?
Greg Olsen, another name you could throw out there.
Yeah, Greg Olsen. He's a great tight end. So you can make an argument that Zach Ertz is maybe the 3rd or 4th or 5th best tight end in the NFL. Now, you could say he's the first or the best tight end, and that argument could be made, but there's other names out there that are just as good, if not better, than Zach Ertz, where when you look at Julie Ertz, she is on the greatest team ever assembled. This is the dream team, and you don't argue with being on the dream team.
No, you don't. Okay, just glad we clarified that. I saw it come through the Twitter line, and I was like, this is a fire, red-hot question that needs to be answered. And
do you feel good with the answer? Are you satisfied?
I do. And then
are you not entertained?
I'll just throw this in there too. She's better looking than Zach Ertz.
By a hair.
Yes, I mean Zach Ertz. I mean he's easy on the eyes, but Julie Ertz just edges him out in that department too.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about that Lakers trade, and who the Lakers are eyeballing. They are taking a look at Kemba. Kemba Walker would be a fantastic fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. And the other name that seems to be surfacing as of late is Kawhi Leonard. Now, I don't believe Kawhi leaves Toronto, but all reports are saying that the Lakers are going to go hard at Kawhi. And would you blame them? I mean,
no,
there shouldn't be a team in the NBA that doesn't go after Kawhi.
I said there was a big gap between the names we mentioned, and I forgot about Kawhi only because you and I both agree, like, Kawhi staying in Toronto. That was a great run for him. Yes, if he goes to LA, that would probably be a better team. But this team that the Lakers are trying to assemble is going to be a lot like the Warriors team, maybe even worse. So the Warriors lose one guy, and they struggle. They lose 2 guys, and they're still a pretty decent team because I feel like the role players they have are better than any role players the Lakers have or could possibly obtain, and they still couldn't get it done. They still lost in 6 games. If LeBron or AD go down, this Laker team might be worse than what they were, depending on who that third person is they sign, but it could be worse than what they were last year.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, we're talking about what-if scenarios.
Right.
We're going to look at it
mean,
as
LeBron
everybody
was hurt.
being healthy at this point.
Right, but LeBron was hurt last year. He's another year older. He's another year slower, and his chances of getting injured again are very good, or his chances of slowing down are really good. And yes, if healthy, they're a really solid team. I still think they're a very beatable team. I think if the Warriors hold on to their core and the Rockets hold on to their core and the Thunder, I mean, I don't want to go too far because they I don't know what's going on over there, but I feel like if they add some pieces, they should be good on paper. The Thunder is just a really hard team to analyze because you look at that team and you're like, yeah, this should be at least second round or make the Western Conference Finals every year, and they just can't seem to get past the first round. But I don't think it's going to be like a slam dunk for the Lakers just by getting AD. And then again, if they get Kawhi, yeah, I'll say slam dunk. But right now, I'm going to hold off on that.
And there's one other challenge for them to pick up another max player. Apparently, the way the contract is structured and with this whole trade, if it gets finalized before July 30th, the Lakers now don't have enough salary cap space to sign another max player. They're a little shy of it. Now, they could still make some maneuvers, make some trades to open it up. But if they wait and work out a deal with the Pelicans, with Anthony Davis, to make the trade not finalized till after July 30th, whatever clause that is in that contract will then officially open up enough salary cap space for the Lakers to sign that final max player. So there's some negotiations that have to be done and some movement that has to be done for the Lakers to be even in that same ballpark to be able to get a guy like Kawhi or Kimba or one of these other max guys that are going to ask for tons of money. And I think the Lakers will do it. I think it's going to happen, but it's just another wrinkle in this whole game.
Yeah, I mean, what would be the benefit?
Whatever's.
What would be the benefit of the Pelicans to wait? I mean, don't they have to finalize this deal before the draft? I mean, I can't pick the number 4 pick if the deal's not finalized.
Well, the Lakers would pick it based on what the Pelicans said. I don't know. There's a lot of.
If I'm the Pelicans, I'm like, sorry, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
don't got time for this. Just give us the trade. Let's finalize it. I want to be able to have control over the pick. I want to know that that pick is secure because, I mean, what if the Lakers do all of that and then they make the 4th pick, or they say, you know what, man, Zion Williamson, for some whatever reason, let's just say Zion Williamson makes it to the number 4 pick, and they're like, oh wow, we lucked out here. Yeah, trades off. We're gonna take Zion.
Yeah, no,
like,
this
the
is
Pelicans
a good
can't go for
scenario.
that.
Well,
The
this is what
Pelicans can't go
happens.
for that.
The
Like-
Pelicans now have leverage, right? So they can maybe say, "Hey, throw in another second-round pick. Let's just sweeten the pot, and we'll go ahead and wait
throw
to
in
sign
Kuzma.
it."
Throw in Kuzma.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now you're talking
But
crazy now, Chris America. But
if I'm the
throw in
Pelicans, I'm going to say, look, we're ready to rock and roll. I don't care about your salary cap situation, especially if you are the Pelicans and you're in the Western Conference. Why would you do anything to help out a Western Conference opponent get better? No, I'm going to screw you over and say, look, either this trade goes down or we'll start talking to other teams and we'll move on. So what do you got? I'm not going to give you something that makes you a better team to where when my team goes and plays you in the Western Conference playoffs, you're going to beat my butt because I allowed you to make yourself better. That makes no competitive sense.
I see what you're saying there, but if the Lakers threw in another piece, like a draft pick or something to make it
I don't
worth
know,
their
man.
while, then
I
you
don't know.
consider it.
A second-round pick to make me let you get better? Like, you're going to get better if I
You're already
wait.
making a trade that makes them better. You're giving away Anthony Davis.
Okay.
You're making them better.
But why
you
do I
are.
have to wait? Why do I have to do anything to make you give me a second-round pick and that does nothing for me? That doesn't do anything for me. If I give you the cap space that you need, that does a world of difference for you.
I'm just letting you know this right now. Draymond Green, second-round draft pick. You think Golden State was like, second-round draft pick, not worth it. This guy's going to be garbage. I'm
on,
not even going to take
Loudbeard.
a shot on him.
Loudbeard,
I'm not even taking a chance.
That's
Throw it
crazy
away.
talk. That's crazy talk.
But
And
Draymond Green
we're
was
gonna-
the second-round pick.
Okay, yes, he was, but the chances of you finding that needle in a haystack are so slim to none. And so with that crazy talk, Loudbeard, we're going to go on the other side of the break, and I'm going to have a clip for you that is kind of crazy talk.
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back, and thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio. He's Chris America. I'm Loud Beer. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., right here on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network, and we are on the podcast. I said podcast. We're on the Barn Burner Podcast Network. Yes, you can find us all of those places. Keep checking us out. If you cannot catch the live show, go back and search on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, anywhere you can find a podcast, and search Scout Team Radio. You can listen to any of our live broadcasts as a podcast, anytime, on demand, the way you like it. You can also hit us up on Twitter. We appreciate all of our Twitter followers and tweeters this morning, listeners chiming in. We've got tweets coming in from Jenny of Ohio. We have tweets coming in from Memphis Spence, from Mike Berlon. A lot of great interaction this morning. We appreciate you guys. Keep doing that. We will read your tweets on air, including this tweet from Mike Berlon that just came in right before the commercial break. He says, the correct answer is Julie, and it's not even close. Yes, he is on the Julie Ertz is better than Zach Ertz train, and it is not even close. Yes, amen, hallelujah. You know what you're saying this morning, Mike Berlon. I appreciate it. Chris America, I hope you can appreciate this wisdom that is being spewed out on Twitter right now.
Always. Always appreciate Mike Berlon's wisdom. Especially when it comes to who I should bet money on, because I'll listen to his wisdom and then go the opposite direction.
Wow. Killer this morning, are you?
Yeah.
Kiss the death killing.
Well,
Bringing it
Lavender,
up
are you ready
again.
you ready for that crazy talk I promised?
Yeah, you've been promising it all day, and then you just haven't come through yet. It's been very disappointing. I'm hoping you finally
I'm just waiting for you to stop rambling on.
I'm just waiting for you to play the damn clip.
All right, hopefully it goes. Hold on.
Hold on. Now you want me to hold
the
on?
only official one. Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now, coming soon to Twitter, you'll get to read all my thoughts and opinions on just about everything. Now, there's a lot of fake OJ accounts out there, so this one, at the real OJ32, is the only official one. So this should be a lot of fun. I got a little getting even to do. So God bless. Take care.
No, nobody likes it when O.J. Simpson's got some getting even to do. Watch out, world. Oh,
Wow,
he's posted a few clips. Here's another one.
Yeah.
For years, people have been able to say whatever they want to say about me with no accountability. But now I get to challenge a lot of that BS and set the record straight. More importantly, I'll be able to talk about everything, especially sports, fantasy football, and even politics. But for now, let me just say to my fellow fathers out there, happy Father's Day, and God bless. Hey, Twitter.
Oh, God. I cannot wait for his fantasy football advice.
This is going to be electric. Yeah, I didn't know OJ had a Twitter account until I saw over the weekend. Scott Kaiser was retweeting it and commenting on OJ's account. And when I saw that, I was like, OMG.
Okay, hold on.
Things are about ready to get real.
8 hours ago, he tweeted, the first thing I want to set straight is this story, Pardo, who is not my manager, is talking about all over the media regarding me and Kris Jenner. Do we want to risk pressing play? Do we think O.J. Simpson can be trusted to have clean language, or do you think he's going to flip the flag to take a turn from the Craft Brewed Sports guys? I have not listened to this yet. This was 8 hours ago. So
Just let
I
it
was
happen.
sleeping.
Let
All
it
right, hold
let
on.
it go.
Man, Hello, Twitter world. This is yours truly. You know, this is my first venture into the social media world, and
Well,
it's
because you've been in
amazing,
prison the whole time.
especially how quickly they could put up counterfeit sites. Anyway, we'll deal with that. My life has always been involved in the sports world, and I suspect as the weeks goes on, that's pretty much what we'll be talking about. But once in a while, I'm going to go off topic and talk about something else, and this is one of those times. You know, Bob Kardashian, he's like a brother to me. He's a great guy. He met and married Chris, and they really had a terrific time together when they were together. Unfortunately, that ended. But never, and I want to stress, never in any way, shape, or form had I ever had any interest in Chris, romantically or sexually, and I never got any indication that she had any interest in me. So all of these stories are just bogus, bad, tasteless. Chloe, like all the girls, I'm very proud of, just like I know Bob would be if he was here. But the simple facts of the matter is she's not mine. Now, one of the people who's spreading this rumor is a guy that the media loves to say is my manager. I had one manager in my whole life, Chuck Barnes, when I came out of USC for 3 years. Unfortunately, he died about 45 years ago. But even before he died, I opened my own office with the help of Skip Taft, my lawyer, my two assistants, Marilyn O'Brien, the late Marilyn O'Brien, and Kathy Randa. And I've always managed my own affairs, and I like to think very successfully. So when you see these guys like Norm and these guys claim that they're my manager, it's just not true. I may have done a deal here or there with them, but none of these guys have ever was anything remotely like a manager for me. In any event, that's it for today.
Well, Ladbert, I got to say I'm disappointed. He went old man grandpa rambling on us there.
Well,
I felt like he was
there was
about to
nothing
hand us
juicy.
out some Werther's originals and maybe some tapioca pudding. I mean, it was some juicy details, but he went a little bit rambling on.
Yeah, he went Maury. I am not the father.
Oh, he did go that way.
I was
I
hoping
didn't even know
for
those were
something
rumors that
good.
Chloe was O.J. Simpson's kid.
Yeah. Did you hear that whole Kris Jenner story?
I mean, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that there would be rumors about O.J. and Kris Jenner. I mean, that's just what Hollywood does, is they make up stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I heard the details of it intimately on Craft Brewed Sports about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And apparently, OJ, the rumor was OJ was hanging out at the Kardashians in the hot tub.
Yep.
Well, Bob Kardashian goes to bed early, falls asleep early or something. Well, then OJ and Kris Jenner have, some extramarital relations in the hot tub. Well, apparently it got so rough that Kris Jenner then needed to go to the hospital because OJ broke her in half, and then Kris Jenner woke up Bob Kardashian and made him drive her to the hospital. That was the story. It's almost a little too far-fetched.
Okay, yes. I did hear that story, but for some reason when I heard that story, I thought they were talking about Kim Kardashian.
Now
that you mentioned it, because
now
that you mentioned that story and that they had to drive her to the hospital because he broke her, I wanted to tweet at them because I had to listen to it like on my Saturday, because Thursdays are just like you; they're a little bit difficult to listen live on Thursdays. I try to listen here or there, but then I usually catch Craft Brewed Sports on the replay on their Apple podcast on my Saturdays, because there's nothing on the radio on Saturdays when I'm working. So I'll listen to those guys. They take up a big hour and a half of my day. And I do remember thinking I should tweet at them and say, like, he's like Terry Crews in White Girls.
He is. He's Terry Crews, man.
Puts them in wheelchairs.
I believe it. I believe it.
And yeah, Mike Verlon from Craft Brewed Sports chiming in. He agrees with me. OJ was hard to listen to in that video. It was just old man rambling. Very disappointing, OJ. Do better next time. Don't tap into... I know you're like, what? He's like 72, 73. I know he's old, and I know he's been in prison a long time, which means he's like, it's like, you know how like old people just always want people to just talk to and they just ramble on. I imagine if you're the old guy who's been in prison for 10 years and now you're out, it's like it like magnifies that need of the old man ramble.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say. He hasn't had a lot of people to talk to, so now he wants the world to know. Plus, he's very upset that people are going on Twitter and making fake OJ accounts. That's
Yeah, I would be
inappropriate.
too. It is. And he still doesn't have a blue check, which is weird. He should have a blue check by now. Come on, Twitter. Get with that and edit function.
Give it about a week. I bet he's got it.
Yeah. He should have it by today.
Yeah, it could happen. Definitely could happen. Well, Chris America, I know you love talking about O.J. Simpson for days on end, but I think it might be time to move on to another sport. I think we need to talk about your favorite sport of all time.
Which one's that?
Golf. So
Okay.
U.S. Open, yeah, big win for Gary Woodland. Wins his first major championship of his career. Gets the big win over Brooks Koepka. So he is our U.S. Open champion. And as always, the U.S. Open ends on Father's Day. So big win for him. That was Golf Talk, brought to you by Loudbeard.
Golf is in the same boat that boxing was in. They need more personalities, man. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like now that I'm getting more excited about boxing over golf, it's not a good sign. I mean, I was really into like Tiger Woods has really been the only golfer. I know a lot of people love the lefty with Phil Mickelson. What is it? Bubba Watson. He kind of provided a little spark, several years ago when he was kind of just doing his thing, but just none of these guys like Bruce Koepka. I don't even. You just mentioned the guy who won the U.S. Open, and I have already forgotten his name.
It's Gary Woodland. Yeah, he's
Gary,
not a big
Gary,
name. He's not
like
a big
his name is Gary too. Like when you say the name Gary, no offense to any Garys out there, but I just think of like hey guys, my name's Gary, and we're gonna maybe we'll play some Magic the Gathering or something.
You're definitely insulting every Gary out there in the world.
I really am, and I'm sorry. Gary Payton would be pissed at me that I said that. I'm sorry, Gary Payton. I know you're listening, Gary Payton.
He would think that was seriously inappropriate. I'm trying to look here. I'm gonna find a story of something that you really do like. Actually got two here. I've got a UFC story and a Lonzo/LeVar Ball story. So I'm gonna go LeVar Ball.
We have 8
Yep.
minutes, and I have a big time story we need to talk about.
Oh,
So
no. Uh-oh. LeVar Ball guarantees the Lakers will never win a title after they traded Lonzo Ball. Guarantees it. Do you believe that this is a true guarantee, or do you think he gave the kiss of death to wherever Lonzo Ball goes and the Lakers will now win a championship?
I think that both teams will not win championships.
Yeah, you're probably
It has
right.
It has nothing to do with what they said.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, I'm going to go quick on this other story then. Your boy, Chael Sonnen, finally announced his retirement. He's done. It's gone. He's eliminated.
Chael Sonnen's done? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting up in age.
He was done like 5 years ago, but he kept going.
Yeah.
He kept trying. Does that surprise you at all?
A great fighter, great entertainer, great personality. He'll be good for the circuit of
Announcing, broadcasting, and all that stuff.
broadcasting,
Yep.
doing podcasts, things of that sort. He'll be great for all that, but it's hard to watch a guy talk trash, and then he loses all the time. I mean, he puts up great fights, but yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find a video for my story here. Should have been more prepared, but I wasn't. All right, let's see if this will work. Nope. This is just a regular video. Okay, I thought I could find like a news story on this so that we can listen to it, but I can't. So we all love Florida Woman, right?
Yes.
Florida Woman has the title, and it's going to be very hard to take the title of like crazy, erratic, and overall just a bit strange title from her, correct?
I agree with that.
Yeah, well, SC Woman, or South Carolina Woman, she's making a strong push, a strong bid to take that weird, strange, crazy, what the hell are you doing, laughing out loud title from Florida woman. A South Carolina woman was pulled over and arrested after local police spotted her rolling down the street. Have you seen this story, Loudbeard? What do you think she was rolling down the street if you haven't?
I felt like I saw the story, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Why don't you?
Well, why don't you
Let
take
us
a
know.
guess?
She was rolling down the street,
Mm-hmm.
smoking,
Yeah.
sipping on gin and juice.
But what do you think she was
Laid
rolling down in?
back. Huh?
What do you think she was rolling down in?
Rolling down in
In a
slop.
what? No, in
Car.
a what? Okay.
Golf cart.
You're bad at this. She was in a Power Wheels truck. Yes,
Oh, see
a
that?
Power Wheels truck.
Okay.
She was pulled over and got a DUI. Apparently, he can get a DUI driving a Power Wheels truck under the influence.
I heard that she actually didn't. They didn't ended up not giving her the charge of DUI, but getting pulled over and accused of it initially. I mean, I think she's driving safe though, right? Like DUI and a Power Wheels. I mean, I think
Okay,
that's
yeah.
safe.
It does say that she was under the influence of narcotics, not alcohol,
Oh,
but was not arrested for DUI considering she was
crack is
behind
much
the wheel.
better than beer.
So, here's the moral of that story. If you're going to
Meth.
drive drunk, use your kid's Power Wheel because you can't get arrested for DUI. I do know you
Yeah.
can get arrested for DUI riding a bicycle. At least here in Florida you can.
Oh, absolutely. I know a kid in high school that happened to. DUI
Yeah.
on a bike. Yep, it's a true story.
They just arrested her on suspicion of public intoxication. I mean, at that point, just let her go home, sleep it off, and tell her not to do it again. I feel like you're just wasting taxpayers' money to throw her in jail. If she's on narcotics and she's under the influence of narcotics, and this is not to get on any soapbox here, Loudbeard, but this is kind of what I hate about our society. This woman needs help. She doesn't need jail time. So if you're going to put her anywhere, put her in a rehab center.
That is quite the soapbox you just jumped on.
All right, let's hear this this DUI on a bike story from high school. Or is that the whole story?
No, that was it. That was the whole story. So,
do you think South Carolina woman takes the title from Florida woman? I don't think so.
No, absolutely not.
She tried. It was a valiant effort, but it's going to be a little bit more than that.
I agree. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit with you because nobody can top the Florida woman. Nobody. Even a South Carolina woman, she gets close. She can hang for like a day or two,
Yeah.
but never forever. And we are getting some hot tweets in here. I just
Yes.
got to bring these up. We got Twitter coming in. You can always hit us up at Scout Team Radio. We've got Memphis Spence saying, don't hate on Power Wheels trucks, better than scooters. Thank you, Memphis Spence. You're correct. If she got pulled over riding a Razor scooter on meth, I would think that would have been a better story. Power Wheels, to me, that's the safe choice. It was probably like a little Jeep Power Wheels or something. Very nice. And then Jenny of Ohio, she's just throwing in a little gif of Julie Ertz, just saying best ever Julie Ertz, better than that Zach Ertz fella. I don't even know where he got his name from. Last thing I want to say, Chris America, is I wish I had a authentic Babe Ruth jersey that I could sell out on the auction scene because Babe Ruth's jersey went for $5.6 million, the most expensive sports memorabilia item ever to be sold. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to get into a time machine and start stealing a bunch of his jerseys and then bringing them back. Now, I don't know how you would prove that they're authentic after that point, but yeah, I guess I don't think it's worth that much, but I can see why it is because I can't imagine there's many authentic Babe Ruth jerseys lying around anymore.
Yeah, see, once time travel gets invented, I'm totally doing the Biff Tannen where you go back in time and get all of the World Almanac on sports betting and become like a sports betting guru. Because every time I put money down at mybookie.ag when I use promo code 12OZSports, I always think, man, I wish I knew who was already going to win this when I'm placing my bet. And if I could go back and get the 1985 Sports Almanac and be able to predict everything that happened and go back in time, I could be a quadrillionaire. Is that a word? No, I made
Yep.
that up.
Mm-hmm.
I could lots of money. I could be like Walter White. I could make that much kind of money.
Loudbeard, your segment game was on fire today. You've segued perfectly into everything, including that promo spot. I think you need to segue us into the end of the show now.
What? It's the end of the
I
show?
guess I segued us to the end of the show. Have a great Monday, guys. See you tomorrow.
Ruined it.
Peace.
Peace.